joining us now is the center fielder. We hope he's the center fielder for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. There's so many outfielders, Torii Hunter, that we don't know if you are still the center fielder.
Yeah, we got a lot of outfielders going on, but I am a center fielder. I better be for at least the next 4 years.
Hey, considering that the Angels have signed now Bobby Abreu, what's that say about the ball club and the depth that you have with the outfield?
Well, we do. We have a lot of depth, and I think just signing Bobby Abreu, he brings us back. You know, with Teixeira, when he came over in July, I think we were like 11 or 12 games up. And Tex, man, he's one of those guys that makes the lineup just blows up. And if you look at our numbers in the second half after he came over, we had great numbers, tremendous numbers. And I think just adding Bobby Abreu, I think that helps us out just like it did when we acquired Mark Teixeira. And I think it's going to benefit the lineup.
Well, Torii, with this free agent market, and you get Bobby Abreu, not in a trade, but as a free agent, you guys stole him. Are you glad that you signed last year as a free agent?
Hey, man, you know, with the economy being rough and everything, what we're going through is a crisis. And baseball, you know, baseball is taking a hit, too, Major League Baseball. I mean, you have a lot of corporate sponsors in Major League Baseball. You know, if they're firing 200 employees, and you know, what's the use of going to get a box seat at a baseball game? So we're getting hit, too, and you can see that with Griffey and Adam Dunn signing late, and all these guys that are signing late, and they're good players. Manny hadn't even signed. The best right-handed hitter in baseball hadn't signed yet. And so you can kind of look at all that stuff and all these guys that are great players out there in the market that you know that it's a rough economy era right now. And I'm just happy I signed last year. You know, it's just like being in the stocks. Right now, the stocks are down. So if you're a free agent this year, your stock is down. Last year, if you got out, you know, your stock was up. When you got out on top, you're good, you're happy. And that's what I did last year.
You feeling good about your deal then, huh?
I'm happy.
Hey, Torii, got to ask you, obviously, with the stuff that's in the news, and you talk about the economy and guys signing, the whole steroid situation, we know that you've known Alex Rodriguez for a very long time. What was your reaction when you first heard the news that it actually came out? And then, obviously, the subsequent admission by Alex earlier this week.
Man, you know, when I first heard that, I'm like, no, not Alex. It can't be because, you know, this is a guy I've seen when we were 16 years old. We were juniors in high school playing in the Junior Olympics in Boise, Idaho. Just watching this guy play, man. He was, you know, 16, slim guy, put together, big hands. He was the only guy swinging wooden bats at 16 years old and hitting home runs 400 feet. And I knew this guy was going to be one of the greatest players to play the game, and I see it to this day. And just to hear him say that, you know, that he admitted to it, and it was tough to even think about it. But for him to admit to it, it takes a man to admit his mistakes, and that's what he did. And you know what? It's just like my son. He makes a lot of mistakes all the time, but I forgive him, and we move on. And that's what I'm going to do with A-Rod. He's one of my fellow baseball players, and I'm going to always be there for him. If he needs me right now, I'm going to be there for him. So, people, you got to have forgiveness in your heart. Don't hate because he make $250 million, but just have forgiveness. Yeah, he can be punished, scrutinized, whatever you want, but forgive him, please. He's a baseball player, and he's still human.
Well, Torii, speaking of your son, you're at a basketball game. Somebody comes up and says, Torii, are you one of the 103 players? What was your reaction to that, and do you think you'll hear a lot more of that this year?
Yeah, you definitely going. Man, I've been hearing about that since 2004, but, you know, since this is out, you know, the 104 players, and now they know there's 103 players out there. And, I mean, I had some fans, some people that were in my son's game, in the stands, were saying, hey, you heard about A-Rod? I'm like, yeah, I heard about that. That's pretty crazy. But there's 103 left. Are you one of them? They're joking, but they're serious. And you know, I really don't want that to be going on all year, man. And I know I'm one of the guys that worked my butt off and did what I had to do. So I definitely don't want people to think that about me.